Nigerians came into 2015 with a nagging presentiment of danger, especially given a tense election preparation. Fortunately, the elections have come and basically gone, mostly peacefully. But much of the year still remains with its challenges. We continue our discussion with Otivi Ibuza and Paddy Njoku. Dr. Ibuza is the Executive Director of the African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development. He is the former head of Action Aid Nigeria. Dr. Njoku is the chairman of NECO and president of the International Institute of Leadership and Governance. Please join us in our discussion. The elections, did they reveal any tribal, religious biases that we have to deal with in Nigeria?
I think that religion and ethnicity has been tools that have been used by the political class historically to mobilize for votes. And we saw it play out in the elections. Many of the candidates were moving from one mosque to the other, from one church to the other. In fact, in some times, they mounted the rostrum and solicited for votes. So religion played some role. In fact, in some states, in Lagos, for instance, people stated clearly that this time around, we will insist that there should be no Muslim gubernatorial candidate, and the major parties presented a Christian. So religion played some role in the election. And if you look at the vote itself, you will discover that, for instance, the president-elect had huge amounts of vote from
the Muslim community,
from northern region. Northern region. Clearly, especially northeast and northwest.
But what about like in the southwest, where you have a kind of a balance? Was there any evidence of religious shift one way or the other across the southwest?
In southwest, it's difficult to really say, because you see that in Ekiti State, for instance, is predominantly PDP now. You know. Ondo State, that was supposed to be, didn't. So it's more complex, and we think we need to do more analysis of the electoral geography of this area. But suffice it to say that religion and ethnicity played major role. Even if you go from national to the various states, you know, where a particular candidate, governorship candidate come from, played a lot of role. In Delta State, he played a lot of role. In Rivers, you know, he played a lot of roles and discussion. And it will continue to dominate the political scene. But I think that what is really required is a lot of political education for people to understand that politicians utilize ethnicity and religion as a mobilizing tool. But in the final analysis, the poor man in Maiduguri is the same thing as a poor man in Orogo.
Well, three of us are talking here because there's a language, a common language we're sharing. Otherwise, I'm Igbo. If I couldn't understand English and you invited me to something like this, I would ask whether there are Igbo people around that I can discuss with. If I can't discuss with you in English, you mightn't even know how stupid or intelligent I am. So, as long as there are no ideologies dividing the parties, what binds people together or separates them will still remain their tribes, their religions. If Magnus Bakol comes campaigning and the people in my village don't understand what he's saying, they would need somebody from around to interpret to them. And they believe more that man interpreting to them, because that's the man they know, they understand, than even you. They just see you as a figurehead coming there. So we need to educate our people first and foremost. Educate the people so that they can break the barriers of tribe.
You know, I think that there's an issue. The problem, I think, is that everything is centralized in Nigeria. the central government is too large and seeks to control every process and even the distribution. I think what we need to do is got to be sure that we have our communities to be able to do some things by themselves. I like it that President-elect Buhari is talking about efficiency in the system. It'll be difficult to have efficiency in the broad setup that we have now because it's too unwieldy. But if we can break it up into smaller units, so communities are given the enablement to create their own efficiency. So that community learns from this community, learns from that community, then we pull them all together, you get a good, solid, functional whole.
But
it's like having a soccer team. If you don't have individually good players, you're not going to have a good team.
No, but that must be located in the general framework that will make it work. If you even devolve powers to the units, and the units are just waiting to collect the rent and engage in corruptible transaction, then what you are saying
you have to teach them how to be on their own. But that's what we see in other countries. We see in other countries.
Sorry, sir. It goes beyond teaching.
Okay.
It goes beyond teaching. It has been shown clearly that everywhere in the world where you have monopoly, where you have discretion, and you have lack of transparency and accountability and systems, corruption thrives. So, beyond education and teaching, you must put integrity systems in place. When I say integrity system,
yes,
they have to be a system of recruitment that is followed.
Okay.
There has to be a system of procurement that is followed. And there have to be a system of sanction when there are breaches.
We have all these systems. It's just implementation that's the problem.
Sorry,
we have all these things on the books.
We needed to start from the structure of the country. As you said, there is too much concentration of power and riches, in quotes, in the center. Mm-hmm. All the money comes to the center. There's one principal man that decides what to do about it, and that's why everybody either wishes him dead so that he can replace him. Okay? And that's why there's so much acrimony. But if we had a decentralization, that, in fact, in my own thinking, the ward, not even the local government, the ward should be a unit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If any money comes to my ward, we're talking of integrity and this, nobody can embezzle one kobo in my ward. There was a time I got to them and they said the governor gave them, I think, 200,000 for Christmas and all that. They waited till I came to say, this is the money. What do we do with it? At the local government level, it would have disappeared.
Because but I'm even talking about...
You don't even know who your local government
I want you to continue.
But in the world, everybody knows everybody. I want you to
speak to this, though, that I'm talking about not where they are sharing at the word or it's been shared to the word, but where the word is producing.
Good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's where I'm coming to.
Okay.
When I got there, I said, no, you don't use this money to buy goats and rice, and you must invest it in something, something productive. Yes. You must sink a borehole for the world, which the local government has not been able to do. And so if development decisions are far removed from the people themselves, they only hear that sometime this local government chairman is coming to put a borehole here, they spend more money commissioning the borehole than they spend putting it there. Yeah, so the government is still far removed from the people of Nigeria. And the government comes to them when the politicians want votes. That's why you see so much mobilization, people milling around. These people, the danger tomorrow is that these people are going to get acrimonious when they see that for all this milling around they did, nothing is coming to them. The PVC has proved that you, holding your card, you are equal to the president because he doesn't have two cards. He has one and you have one. But unfortunately, what happens is that after that day you exercise that franchise, nobody recognizes you again till the next 4 years. We have to devolve power. It has to get down to the people so that you call a mood around the village square to say, this is what we have. What do we do with it? What is our priority? So the people don't stay and get crumbs that look like favors that politicians are doing to
Yeah,
them.
I agree with you.
This is what is happening
on the
now.
need for devolution of powers, on the need for decentralization. However, I insist that a system that makes it possible for the governor to distribute 200,000 to the ward, yet they cannot provide water, it's a faulty system.
It's completely faulty. I was giving you an example.
Yes.
I even questioned from where did the governor take
Exactly.
the 200,000 in the first place? What appropriation was made for it? Yes. You understand? But I gave you an example that because it got to the ward, somebody felt, oh, we have certain people in this world who will question.
Your
What
word,
happened
your
to the
word
money?
you know, the things are changing. There is a conception from pre-colonial times about government. So, government work is Iroro Igbo, white man's job. Oro Igbo, white man's job. And so, when government money comes, there are many instances in some communities. Maybe your community, because you are a leader there, they know you are somebody of who is transparent and accountable. There are many communities. If the community people contribute money, nobody touches it. But if government brings money,
On that note, gentlemen, I thank you so very much.
it's my pleasure.
It was a great job.
Thank you very much, sir.
Wonderful.